are still powerful kahit feeling sabog ka na. Wala tayong pake sa kanila. Masaya ako, confident ako, yun na yun. Pagod, baka sabog din, pero fierce. Always a queen. You don't need to have it all together. Kahit sabog, basta present. Queen pa rin. You are still powerful kahit feeling sabog ka na. Wala tayong pake sa kanila. Masaya ako, confident ako, yun na yun. Pagod, baka sabog din, pero fierce. Always a queen. You don't need to have it all together. Kahit sabog, basta present. Queen pa rin.
Okay. Okay, kamusta naman ang mga Fierce Divas? Ayan, so welcome no sa Audit Planning Part 2. So kahit sabog no, kahit na medyo sabog na dahil madaming mga subjects, 'di ba? Yan ang bilang mga students, 'di ba? Maraming subjects. Pero konting time, no? So kailangang i-balance talaga lahat ng mga activities na ginagawa. But of course, 'di ba? Don't forget to also include a rest siguro sa inyong mga schedule, as it is important, 'di ba, para at least ma-absorb mo yung mga lesson, hindi yung nakaupo ka pero hindi mo naman na maintindihan. So take rest, especially when your body demands it, 'di ba? Mararamdaman mo 'yan, no? Nagpaparamdam naman palagi ang katawan. Okay. So going back to audit planning. So, nandito na tayo sa... Let me just... Okay. Sa procedures to obtain understanding of entity. But basically, no, these are not only limited, no? These are not only actions limited to understanding an entity. So, basically, ito na rin, no, yung mga audit procedures that are really general. Ito yung madalas ginagawa natin, okay? So first we have inquiry, okay? So ang example dito is yung pag-interview kay management sa staff para maintindihan yung kanilang operations. So hindi lang operations, we also have their internal controls and accounting system. So basically, no, itong inquiry, pwede mo siyang isabay or i-partner sa iba pang procedures na papag-uusapan natin later on, no, after this particular procedure. So this helps identify key processes and potential weaknesses. So ang mahalaga kasi, no, sa pagtatanong is malalaman mo yung kasagutan, especially if it is unclear sa yung end kung ano ba talaga yung nangyayari. So, basically, itong inquiry, no, na tinatawag natin, kapag of course, since ang pinag-uusapan natin is planning, to somehow understand yung environment and the business itself, pwede mong itanong kay management, no, or sa kanilang accounting staff. For example, magkaroon kayo ng walkthrough, no? Pag nagkaroon kayo ng walkthrough sa kanilang mga, let's say, cash receipt process, cash disbursement process, revenue process, and other process that the business have or the businesses have, no? So, maaring magtanong ka, no, sa ibang mga proseso nila or sa ibang aspects ng mga prosesong iyon kung saan ka medyo nagguluhan. Okay? Kailangan mong magtanong, no, para magkaroon ng mga sagot, okay? Because these answers will be very important, no, as we proceed with the engagement. Okay? Next is yung observation. Okay? Observe processes and operations to understand how transactions are initiated and recorded. So this is useful for evaluating segregation of duties and workflow efficiency. So maraming gamit ang observation. Okay? So, since nasa planning pa lang nga tayo, no, audit planning pa lang ang pinag-uusapan, useful itong observation sa pag-observe ng kanilang basic processes, no? Their day-to-day operation. Ano pa ba? Just for example nga, kung nandun ka sa cash receipt nila, or I mean sa cash disbursement na lang, sige. So, pwede mong malaman, no, sino yung nag-i-initiate ng disbursement na nangyayari sa company. Sino yung mga approver ng disbursement, and then sino yung maglalabas ng pera. Okay? Ito bang tatlong functions na ito na nabanggit ko, iba't ibang tao ba yung gumagawa? O sa entity na ito, iisa lang, no? Yung gumagawa, or merong isa sa mga staff or workers ang merong dalawang functions na incompatible o dapat hindi ipinagsasama. Okay? So, ito yung sa observation. But basically, after planning, when you are already, no? When you're already performing or starting an audit procedure for a particular class, no, of transaction or a particular account, so maaring ang pag-observe, ang example nito is yung sa, let's say, yung kanilang pag-observe ng inventory counting, di ba? Pag-observe ng kanilang manufacturing of finished goods, no? At marami pang iba. Okay? Balik tayo sa inquiry kanina, kapag sa mismong procedure na yan, no, kapag sinasabay na yan, usually sinasabay siya, no, sa ibang procedure na mapag-uusapan pa, because inquiry is, even though somehow it's effective, no, depende sa of course sa gusto mong makuha, no, na evidence, audit evidence from it is somehow considered as the weakest, kaya pinapartner siya dun sa ibang mga procedures meron tayo. Okay, so pwedeng, for example, ito, inquiry, it can be partnered with observation. So while observing a particular operation or transaction doon, how it is happening, pwede kang mag-inquire, sir, bakit po ganito? Bakit po dalawa lang po yung gumagawa ng process na ito? Sir, bakit po wala pong segregation of duties? Bakit isa lang po yung nag-a-approve, tapos siya na rin po yung naglalabas ng pera? Ang dating, no, bakit po, sir, ang approver, no, or nagre-record, siya na rin po yung may custody of the asset, no, which is mali. So, maaring bigyan ka ng sagot ng entity or ng management ng entity, and then at that time mo malalaman kung reasonable ba. So, maaring sabihin, no, na understaffed kasi sila, kaya yung ibang employee merong dalawang function or roles sa isang kumpanya, matagal naman nang ginagawa yun, and then wala naman ding na kikita, no, na potential threat from doing it, no. So based from their answers, you will decide, no, kung okay ba talaga, okay, or reasonable. We also have inspection. So inspection during planning stage involves reviewing documents and records to gain insight into the entity's operation. So dito, no, pwede mong tignan yung mga documents na meron ang isang entity. Okay? So tignan mo sa kanilang, for example, sa kanilang invoices, meron bang palaging pirma? Sino yung mga nakapirma sa invoices na yan? No, na kanilang nilalabas. Isang tao lang ba yan? Dalawa? Tatlo? No? Because of course, when there is, let's say for example, two authorized signatories needed for an invoice to be deemed valid or legitimate, 'di ba? Eh di mas maganda kung tatlo, mas maganda. Therefore, kung tatlo nga or dalawa, no, hindi lang isa, maybe we can rely more, 'di ba? Or we can somehow get to a conclusion or get to an understanding na effective naman, no, yung ginagawa ni company sa kanyang mga operations. Okay? Now, we also have, I believe itong pangalawa, hindi ko kasi, ayan, sige, inspection yan, no, wait lang, let me just check. Okay. So, we have here, activities include review of prior year working papers, financial statements, review of management reports, quarterly reports, parehas lang ba? Let me just check. Okay. Quarterly reports, board meeting. So, yung first review of prior year's working papers and financial statements. So, ibig sabihin ang nire-review natin dito is yung prior year working paper na binabanggit dito is the working or are the working papers that were finished or completed by the prior year auditors. Kaya yung mga financial statement naman, of course, yung nakalipas or sa nakaraang taong mga financial statements. We also have here management reports, no? Ang example dito is yung quarterly reports. No, just for example, pwede rin yung kanilang mga report related to their sales, their target quotas, no? New policies. We also have board minutes. So dito nakapaloob yung mga election of officers, directors, resolutions, no? Mga bagong resolutions na pinapatupad, like for example, change of registered office, no? Let's say, ano pa bang mga ibang na-encounter ko? Change of registered office, and then siguro appointment of new secretary, and many more, okay? We also have review of business plans, strategies, and internal control manuals. So basically, that's not to be explained at all. Yan na siya mismo. Reading industry publications and periodicals. Pwedeng mga annual reports, no, na ina-upload ng company sa mga websites, and visiting premises and plant facilities. Okay? And then, we also have analytical procedures. So, here, we evaluate financial information through analysis of plausible relationships among data. We also use to identify unusual trends, fluctuations, or inconsistencies. A basic premise, relationships among data are expected to exist and continue unless conditions change. So, yun yung ating, kumbaga, expectation. Now, with this being said, alam naman kasi natin to, no? But there are different sources, no? Sources that we can use to do analytical procedures, no? So, lipat tayo sa ating Excel. Okay. Zoom ko siguro ng konti. Okay, so we can develop expectation, regarding financial statements, or we can conduct analytical procedures with the use of this particular sources. So, first we have non-financial information, prior year financial statements, analytical interim financial statements, anticipated results such as budgets, forecast or projections, typical relationships among financial statements, account balances, and then industry averages. Okay? So, yung first step dyan is yung developing expectation regarding FS. Okay? For our analytical procedures. The second is to compare expectations with the items presented in FS and then define and investigate significant differences. Okay? So, siguro let's provide real examples for each source in developing expectation. Okay? So, first we have non-financial information. So, hindi naman porket sinabing non-financial, these are just qualitative. Okay? So, basically, dito, quantitative pa rin sila, pero raw data, or redundant, kasi data tapos raw na. Data sila. They are not yet translated into information. So, we will be using two components or two factors, and then we will be combining it to somehow interpret this data and convert them into information. Okay? So, sige, mag-provide tayo ng ilang example. Okay? Siguro one for each. Okay? We'll try our best for you to understand them. So, first, we have yung non-financial information nga. So, dito, sige, let's say we are auditing a logistic company. Okay? So, we are auditing a logistic company. Lagay natin dito. Ay, wait lang. Okay, nahulog ang laptop ko sa kanyang Okay, auditing a logistic company. So, number 1 muna tayo, ha. we are auditing a logistic company. Okay, tapos ang data na meron tayo, ay sige, nagre-report no yung ating kliyente or nag-report meron ang logistic company na ino-audit natin. Sabi niya, meron daw siyang revenue of 50 million. Okay, meron siyang revenue na 50 million. So, ano yung mga non-financial information na pwede mong magamit to verify or to somehow consider if this particular amount of revenue amounting to 50 million is somehow reasonable, no? Or parang walang halong fraud or daya. Okay? So, pwede mong tignan sa kanilang internal log, no, na tinatawag kung saan nakalista yung kung ilang mga trucks na, no? Ilang balikan kumbaga ang nangyari. Okay? So, let's say ang gagamitin natin dito, sige, wait lang. Data. Okay. So, ang gagamitin mo dito, no, yung source. Yung internal log. Ang nakalagay, for example, nagkaroon ng travel hours of or travel distance na lang, no, of 1 million kilometers. Okay. Ang expectation mo dito ngayon is that gamit-gamit, no, ang iyong historical data and fuel price average. Okay. Okay. So, historically, no, ang pinapakita ng mga dating mga records mo is that for every kilometer traveled by the logistic company, nakakapag-earn siya ng 45 pesos. Parang yun ang kanyang standard. Okay? So, every 1 kilometer, merong 45 pesos na revenue. Okay? Or 45 pesos earned. Okay? Peso earned dito. So, ang gagawin natin dito is to calculate kung magkano ba yung expected revenue natin. Okay? Ang actual kasi na revenue na pinapakita ng mga financial statements ay 50 million. Ngayon, magkano yung expectation natin based on the data that we have from our source. So, ang alam natin is 1 kilometer equals 45 pesos, diba? For every 1 kilometer traveled by, let's say, the vehicle used by our logistic companies, nakakapag-earn siya ng 45 pesos kasi yun ang charge niya. Okay? So, ang pinapakita ng ating internal log for the year is from January 1 to December 31, 2025, nakapag-travel tayo, no, ng total of 1 million kilometer. Okay? So, ang ating expectation ngayon is that ang expected revenue, no? Ang expected revenue natin is 1 million kasi yun nga yung traveled kilometers or distance traveled. I-multiply mo sa kung magkano ba, no, yung ating na-earn per 1 kilometer, so times 45. So, ang expectation or ang expected revenue mo is 45 million. Magkano yung actual revenue? 50,000, di ba? Or 50 million. So, magkano yung variance na meron tayo? Meron tayong variance of 5 million. Okay? So, yung 5 million na yan, usually kasi ang revenue, no, ay significant account. So, ito, ang itatanong mo ngayon, ito bang 5 million variance ay reasonable, no? Ano kayang dahilan niyan? Kung 1,000 kilometer lang naman yung na-travel, tapos alam mo na 45 pesos earn per kilometer, bakit merong 5 million na pagkakaiba, no, from your between your expected revenue and actual revenue? Nag-overstate ba si client ng revenue? Or mayroong mga distance na hindi na record si client na dapat for the year? Okay? So, malalaman mo kung i-investigate mo. At dito, revenue kasi, no, significant account siya. Usually, kapag significant account, di ba, yung ating testing threshold or yung kino-consider na threshold bago investigate ay mas mataas. Okay? Ay mas mababa. So, ibig sabihin, no, kahit na mas mababa yung amount, kailangan mo siyang investigate. Kung i-relate natin dito, itong 5 million na to, di ba? Since siya ay significant, ang amount na 178,250, no, ay kailangan ng investigahan dyan pa lang sa mababang amount na yan. So, what more kung 5 million na mas mataas sa 178,150? Okay? Actually, di ba, ang maximum lang nga is 4,750, 5 million yon. So, dapat mo talagang i-investigate further. Okay? Okay, so that's example number 1. I hope ang ating purpose lang naman dito, no, is to somehow appreciate itong mga iba't ibang sources for us to develop expectation. Kung magkaka-problem ba or may mga lilitaw, maaaring meron, no? Kaya makinig na lang din talaga ng maigi. For number 2, we have prior year FS. Okay, tapos na tayo dito. Okay. Sige, lagyan ko lang siguro ng konting bullet. Okay, number 2 na tayo. So, sa number 2, tapos na tayo sa logistic company. Sige, pwede namang logistic company pa din. Pero ang pag-uusapan na natin dito ay yung kanyang advertising expense. Okay? Advertising expense na lang. So, ang kwento dito, for example, prior year financial statements, okay? So, dito, nagde-develop ka from the prior year, tapos i-compare mo siya kung valid ba yung amount in the current year financial statement. So, let's say, no, sa prior year financial statement mo, sa prior year FS mo, meron kang advertising expense account, di ba? Tapos, ang amount of advertising expense account mo in the prior year, which was, no, last 2024, 2025, 2026 na pala tayo ngayon, was 2 million. Okay? 2 million peso. Okay? And then, sige na nga, 2024, since di pa naman pala tapos yung ating year ngayon, no? So, sa current year, FS 2020, year-end ending, no, 2025, ang nakapost naman na advertising expense mo dyan ay 2,100,000. Okay? Okay, 2,100,000. Ngayon, ito bang 2,100,000, no, na kanyang actual advertising expense ay somehow same or close to your expectation? Na mag-develop na tayo ng expectation. Your expectation, no, from knowing the client, kasi noong 2024, ang alam mo, meron siyang 4, no? Meron siyang 4 na bagong store. So, 2024, si client meron siyang 4 na bagong store. ang sabi ni client, no, or ni management, per store merong 500,000 na advertising expense. So nung prior year, kung apat, no, kung apat ang iyong store, merong 500,000 nga, no? And then sa current year, 2025, nalaman mo na meron silang 3 bagong store. Okay? So, ang dating, 'di ba dapat ito okay, 2 million. Ang dating ngayon, since merong 500,000, okay? Since merong 500,000 allotted for each brand new stores, no? Ang dating, so 500,000. Ang problem mo ngayon is that complete ba itong 2,100,000? Okay? Kasi based on the prior year, meron ka ng 2 million. Right? Ngayon, 2,100,000 lang. So, parang ang dating 100,000 lang yung nadagdag. Eh, di ba, bawat brand new stores, dapat merong 500,000. So, dapat madadagdagan ng 1,500. So, ang expected mo niyan, no, ay 500,000 times yung number of stores. Okay? Yung actual mo is to 1. Ngayon, mayroong variance, diba? Of 600,000. Ngayon, yung variance ba na yan? Ano bang reason dyan? Okay? So, yan na yung i-inquire mo kay client. Okay? Bakit po, based sa aming expectation, no, mas mababa po dapat dahil, okay, mali. Dapat mas mataas, no? Kasi meron na pala tayong existing na 4, correct? So, dapat, idadagdag mo muna tong 2,000 last year kasi operating pa yan ngayon. And then, nadagdagan pa ng bago ng 3. So, additional 500,000. Okay? So, yung actual mo is 2,100,000 lang, no? Versus your expected na dapat mas mataas kasi mayroong 3 na dagdag na new branch stores. So, ang expectation mo is 3.5 million. So, i-inquire mo ngayon, no? Itong 1.4 million. Kasi based from your expectation, dapat mas mataas. So, maaaring sabi dyan ni client, no? Na nagkaroon sila ng discount or maaaring hindi na sila pinagbayad kasi pinaspread out na lang, no? Yung binayad na before since hindi naman nagamit yung buong 500,000 and many more explanation from the client. So, tapos na tayo sa 1 and 2. Lagyan ko lang siya ng ng tanda na tapos. Punta na tayo sana naintindihan pa. Pwede ko na siguro itong delete, no, guys. Sige. So, sa pangatlo na tayo, no, sa annualized interim financial statements. So, dito, no, we are performing a year-end audit ulit. Okay? Ang year-end natin, of course, December 31 naman palagi or madalas. Okay? So, ang data dito ay relating to salaries and wages naman. Okay? So, yung salaries and wages, kasi mayroong mga audit engagements na interim kinokonduct. Ibig sabihin, hindi nahihintayin yung pagdating ng December 31 or mag-start for example ng November para sa December 31 audit. Okay? So, ang nangyayari, no, ino-audit na nila pwedeng monthly, pwedeng quarterly. So, yun yung interim. Nagpa-perform na sila before the finals. Okay? Sige, painom lang guys, ha. Okay. So, dahil nag-interim ka na, meron ka ng nakuwang information about their salaries and wages. No? So, sige, sa logistic company pa rin kanina. So, yung salaries, wages, no? By September 30, January 1, sige, sabihin natin until September 30, kasi nga, nag-perform ka ng quarterly, no, hanggang sa third quarter, ay magkano? Let's say, let's say 9 million, no? Okay? So, ang employee na meron sila niyan, no? Ang employee na meron sila ay 500, for example. And then, nasa quarter 4 na tayo. Okay? So, magde-develop tayo ng expectation. Kasi, di ba, ang natapos lang is quarter 3. So, walang October, November, and December. So, at the year end, no? Or sa FS na ino-audit mo ngayon, yung salaries daw and wages, okay, January 1, yung buo na to, no? Yung nasa FS kasi, syempre, buo siya, ay 15 million. Ngayon, valid kaya ito? Okay, so titingnan natin. So, ito kasi, for, 3/4 to, 'di ba? Kasi nga, 3 quarters out of 4 quarters. Ngayon, kapag inanalyze mo ba ito, no? Kapag inanalyze mo ba ito, malapit ba yung annualized amount sa amount in the FS? Okay, so yun yung gagamitin mo. Okay, so dito, ang gagawin mo is, so ito yung actual. Yung expected mo naman, kapag annualized interim financial FS, so, ang gagawin mo is 9 million times or divided by 3/4. Okay? So base, kasi, di ba, ayan, dinivide mo siya, kumbaga parang, yung 9 million, gina-gross up mo siya, papunta doon sa amount niya in 12 months. Ito kasi amount niya in, in 9 months, di ba? So, 3/4. Okay? So, 12 million. Yan ang expected mo. Okay? Bakit? No? Ngayon, merong variance, magkano? 3 million. Okay? So, yan na yung i-inquire mo kay client ngayon. So, maaring sabihin niya na yung variance na yan, sir, kasi dun sa account na nandito po sa sa 9 million, kaya po 12 million yung na-compute nyo, ay dahil hindi pa po kasama dyan yung bonuses, yung mga 13-month pay, etc. Okay? So, mga ganon. So, yan yung sa annualized naman. Okay? Okay. Punta naman tayo sa anticipated results such as budgets, forecast, or projections. Okay? So, sige. So, dito, let's say, ito, actually, medyo challenging to, no? Ano bang pwede dito? Siguro, let's say, meron tayong, okay. So, yung kanina, di ba, nagbenta tayo ng sardinas. Okay? So, dito, nag-budget tayo ng 10 million to buy raw materials, no? Let's say, raw ingredients. So, pwedeng mga sardinas, tomato, di ba, salt, etc. So, purchase of raw materials or raw ingredients. Okay? So, ang projected mo, no? Projected growth mo sa iyong sales dahil nga bumili ka, no? Magkakaroon ng, since nag-purchase ka ng raw materials na gagamitin mo para makapag-produce ng finished goods, ay magkakaroon ka ng growth of 10%, no? Okay. And then, sa actual data, no, na extracted, of course, from the FS, ang nangyaring growth lang talaga, or yung actual sales growth, let's say, 2% lang, no? 2% lang, which is 8%, no? 8% indifference, okay? Pero, yung binili mo talaga, no, in actual din, yung actual purchase mo, actual purchase of raw ingredients, yun na lang pori, ay 10,500,000. So, ang tanong ngayon, no, dapat kasi kapag tumataas ang purchase, no, tumataas rin naman yung sales. Kasi basically, ang pag-purchase mo, no, gagamitin mo yan to sell, 'di ba? Or for sale. So, dito, no, kung makikita mo, ang sinet mo actually is 10 million, no? Bibili ka ng 10 million and then magkakaroon ka ng sales growth. Okay? Of 10% based on, of course, the report that the management have generated. So, ito yung pinakita sa atin. Pero, sa kanyang FS, no, yung kanyang purchases ay 10.5. Pero, ang kanyang sales growth, no, na na-extract natin or na-compute is 2% lang. So, kailangan mong i-ask yan. Anong nangyari? Okay? So, yan yung sa anticipated results such as budgets, forecasts, and projections. Okay. And then, typical relationships among financial statements. Account balances. So, ito, no, parang na-example ko nito palagi na, for example, kukunin mo yung, let's say, yung basic salary, di ba? Kanina, ang basic salary and wages for the year or for the whole year, let's say, for example, ang basic salary and wages ng empleyado or factory workers of this canned sardines company ay 98 million, di ba? So, to compute for the 13th month, kasi nakita mo, ang 13th month pay sa pinaka-FS ay, let's say, 15,000 or 15 million, I mean. Ang 13th month is 1 month, 'di ba? Salary of an employee. So kung itong 98 million ay basically 12 months sahod, no, ng lahat ng empleyado. Ang gagawin mo lang is para makuha yung 13th month nila is divide mo ito into 12. No? And then nakita mo yung actual mo is 8,166,666.67 lang. Pero ang nasa ito pala yung, tama ba? Ito yung actual na nakalagay sa FS. Pero ang expected mo nga ay ito. And I believe this should be the one that is correct, no? Maliban na lang kung nagkaroon ng accruals, etc. So, i-inquire mo ngayon, no? Ano yung nagre-result ng difference? Okay? Bakit po mayroong difference of 6,833,333? May nadagdag ba na empleyado, no? Etc. Mas malaki ba yung 13 month ngayon? Sinamahan ba yun ng bonus, no? At kung ano-ano pa. Okay, and then number 5. So, tapos na tayo sa number 5 pala. Lagyan ko lang ito ng ano. Huwag niyo muna tong isipin, na ako nilalagyan ko lang talaga ito ng ano, ng tandaan na tapos na. Next is yung industry average. So, dito, i-compare mo lang kung somehow reasonable ba yung percentage, no? Or yung amount na meron tayo sa FS ni company based on the industry nga average. So, i-compare mo lang siya sa kung saang kumpanya ang katulad niya, 'di ba? Just for example, ano ba yung magandang. So sige, for example tayo si Ligo Sardines, 'di ba? Ang ating ni-report na net profit margin or net profit margin ay 25%. Okay? Pero ngayon si 555, si Master, sino pa ba? Pa bang may sardinas? Ano nga yung kay Pacquiao? Mega ba? Mega. Ano pa ba? May Saba yata na sardinas. Saba. Rose Bowl. Ang dami, no? Halatang naghihirap na talaga. Ako talagang alam ko yung mga listahan ng sardinas. Kaya ko pa yung gawing 10, guys. Diba? In this economy, no? Of the Philippines. Talagang makapaglilista ka. Diba? Ano pa nga ba? San Marino, 'di ba? Madami talaga, makakapaglista ka. Okay. So, silang lahat 10% lang daw ang kanilang net profit margin, no? Ang net profit margin na 'yan, okay? Kung ikaw compare mo, bakit kaya, no? So, maaring si Ligo, tinaasan niya masyado yung revenue niya, no? In-overstate niya or binaba niya yung kanyang mga expenses kaya mas malaki yung kanyang net profit margin. Okay? Ang nangyari kasi, bumaba ang supply ng sardinas sa dagat, tumaas ang presyo ng kamatis, no? So, maaring may something na kababalaghan yung nangyayari dito kay Ligo Sardines Company. Okay? Pero joke lang to, hindi naman talaga para kay Ligo ito. Siya lang ang naisip kong example at the moment. Okay? So, yun lang naman ang mga sources. Okay? So, sige, para hindi mahirapan sa pag-alaala, 'di ba, sa mga ito, mga sources para makapag-develop ng expectation, makapag-conduct ng analytical procedures, meron naman tayo dito, 'di ba, acronym. So, dito, no, P. Syempre, pag sasama na tong dalawa, parehas sila, 'di ba? So, AN, tas nakaganyan siya, AN2. No pan, syempre T dito. Tapos ay. So, ang dapat mong tandaan ay no panty. Okay? Para malaman mo yung ayan nga, yung sources. Okay? Ang ating acronym ay no panty. Sir, parang ayaw kong tandaan yung no pan. Ay, okay. Hindi ko talaga sinasadya, guys, sa no pan. No Pantene talaga to. Ito yung pag wala ka nang nabiling shampoo talaga sa tindahan, no. No Pantene na lang, no. Baka ma-report nyo pa ako sa principal's office. Ay, no Pantene na lang, no, kung yan ang gusto mo. Kung mas gusto mo yung no Pantene kanina, hindi naman kita masisisi. Okay? Okay. Sige. So, balik na tayo, no, sa ating PowerPoint. Hopefully, no, na understand mo and na appreciate yung mga iyan. Okay. So, we have documentation requirements din naman, no? So, auditors must document itong overall audit strategy na pinag-usapan natin and yung detailed audit plan, nakakatapos lang din naman. Okay? So, these are the outputs expected from the audit planning stage. So, others, no, that we must document are also key decisions, risk assessments, diba, from the risk assessment procedures conducted, and planned responses. Also, we should document changes made during the audit and reasons for those changes. Now, we have here, no, the last two slides, the benefits and the pitfalls, no. So, first, we go to the benefits of proper audit planning. So, this could enhance audit efficiency and effectiveness. Diba sabi nga sa PSA 330, audit planning is required for an audit to be performed in an effective manner. Pangalawa, it reduces risk of overlooking significant issues. Kapag hindi mo na yun naplano sa umpisa, maaring mag-continue ka with the audit, no, not knowing, for example, the significant accounts, the materiality level. So, basically, you are auditing without eyes. Parang ganun ang nangyayari, no? Kaya mahalaga, no, itong audit planning natin. We could also facilitate coordination among team members para at least ma-supervise kung tama yung ginagawa nila, ensure compliance with auditing standards, provide a clear audit trail, so may ebidensya, no, na kinonduct mo itong particular procedure to understand business, no, etc. for review and quality control. And then we have common pitfalls in audit planning. So we can somehow over-rely, no, sa mga prior year plans natin without considering change. So dapat, no, sa pagpaplano natin sa stage na ito, hindi lang natin dapat gayahin kung anong ginawa na natin in the prior year or sa nakalipas na taon kung ito pa din ay parehas na kliyente. Okay? So dapat mong i-consider yung mga bagong nangyari or bagong process. For example, change in process na nangyari sa business. Inadequate understanding of client's internal control. So, actually, marami sa atin, no, nilalaktawan yung pag-understand at pag-assess sa internal control ni client. So, that should be something that, we should always take note and never skip. Failure to update risk assessment after interim audit. So, iba kasi ang interim, maaring nagbabago yan, no? So, we should not over-rely on our interim procedures, but basically review them when we conduct the finals, no? Final procedures. And then, poor communication among audit team members. So, baka kasi nga, itong mga team members, meron na silang mga bagong kaalaman na nalalaman, no, from our client, no, na bago lang or kaka-occur lang ng particular change na yon na hindi na i-report sa partner or manager. So, dapat, kapag may bago ka nalaman, no, bagong significant information that the audit firm needs to know, you have to let them know about it. Okay? So, I believe that is all for our audit planning topic, no? So, thank you for listening and please understand our topic. And hopefully, no, sa mga ibang nagkaplanong mag-auditor in the future, medyo na-appreciate na or nare-realize kung gusto pa ba mag-auditor or baka, di ba, ibang field na lang ang puntahan. So, again guys, thank you, good luck, and God bless.